What up, everybody? A new exclusive clip from Raising Kanan Season 4, Episode 8 shows Kanan and Jukebox talking at Lamont's Diner, a diner on the south side that's been shown multiple times. And in Season 1, it was said to be neutral territory. And in Season 1, the Thomas family even had weekly dinners at Lamont's Diner. But in this clip, Jukebox is saying to Kanan he had information about what happened to Famous. And Kanan told Jukebox, even though he's not 100% sure, he thinks it was Rock who put down Fame. But Jukebox said there was no way, and said that Rock loved Fame. And at this point is when Kanan tells Jukebox that Rock loved Wizs also, and look what she did to him. Before he said that to Jukebox, he was telling her to hear him out. So now Kanan's revealed the truth about what happened to Wizs to Jukebox. A decision he might regret later on. Keep it in mind what Kanan said to Jukebox after he killed her in OG Power. He said that she was always running her mouth. So there's definitely some kind of history with Jukebox and Kanan even before Jukebox ran her mouth that night to Tariq, exposing that Kanan wasn't Slim, but he was actually Kanan Stark, a no good motherfucker. There's also the fact that Jukebox already has a history of telling people the truth about what happened in certain situations when she shouldn't have. I'm talking about Jukebox telling Nicole's father, Mr. Bingham, that Nicole got those rocks from out of her backpack, because Mr. Bingham could have caused all kinds of chaos with that information if he wanted to. But what else did Kanan tell Jukebox at the diner during this conversation? Did he tell Jukebox that it was Lou who pulled the trigger? Because in Season 3, when Lou first started his drinking binge, he admitted to Kanan that Rock had him put down Wizs. But even if Kanan didn't tell Jukebox that it was Lou who put down Wizs, she could easily put two and two together, because that night when Lou picked up Wizs and took him to the club before killing him, when Lou was picking up Wizs, Jukebox was getting off the bus and saw the whole thing go down. And I know they didn't show this happen for no reason. They definitely showed this to bring it back into play at some point in the storyline. Something else that wasn't mentioned for no reason was Wiz's older brother. The primary reason that Wiz's older brother was mentioned because that's where Wiz got the straps that Kanan and him used to kill Buck 20. But it also was mentioned that Wiz's older brother was a wild boy and that he was always in and out of jail. Wiz also said that his mother never knew where his older brother was at. I think all this was mentioned for this character to come back into the storyline at some point in time. And now that Kanan is telling Jukebox about Wiz's death and the truth about what happened, this could potentially be when Wiz's older brother gets introduced into the storyline. Because now that Jukebox knows the truth about what happened to Wiz, she could turn to his brother next and tell him what happened. Just like she told Mr. Bingham the truth about what happened to Nicole. And like what Kanan said after he killed Jukebox, that she was always running her mouth. Because even though in the exclusive clip, Jukebox didn't believe Kanan when he said that Rock put down Famous, after he tells her about Wiz, she might start believing what Kanan said. Not to mention, we don't know how she's going to feel about what really happened to Wiz. The episode 8 description says that Kanan looks into his theory about what happened to Famous. And after seeing Rock paying off officers Roland and Buckley to keep them from vandalizing her strip mall, he thinks Rock was behind putting down Famous. So that, with whatever else Kanan has put together in his head, when he tells Jukebox, she can start believing what he says. And I think she'll be the one to tell Wiz's brother the truth about what happened. And because Wiz's brother is unpredictable, like Wiz said, his mother never even knows where he's at. He could cause problems for the Thomas family, because he didn't have those gats stashed around the house for no reason. So once he finds out the truth, he could come gunning for either Rock or Lou, depending on what Jukebox tells him. But there's also been a lot of speculation that Marvin could either get killed or shot this season. What if after Jukebox tells Wiz's brother what happened, he starts gunning for either Rock or Lou, and Marvin could potentially shove them out the way and save them, but get shot, possibly even killed. Then when Jukebox finds out that it was Wiz's older brother who potentially even killed her father, because she went running her mouth and told him what happened to his brother. This could all play a part of Jukebox becoming that much more cold and darker. One question I do have though about Wiz's brother is why he hasn't been around already looking for answers about what happened to his brother. Because since Kanan was close friends with Wiz, you would think he would have came around already asking Kanan if he knew who Wiz had beef with or anything like that, trying to figure out what happened. Not to mention Wiz was supposed to be on his way to Kanan's to watch New Jack City before Lou scooped him up and took him to the club that night. So if he was really looking for answers, you'd think we would have already seen him around by now. But at the same time, like they said, he was always in and out of jail. And at the time Rock was talking to Wiz and figured out that they got the guns from his brother to kill Buck 20. His brother was already missing in action. So he could have already potentially been locked up at this point or got locked up again before even getting a chance to get revenge for Wiz. And all the time in my comment section, there's people saying that Wiz's older brother will be Breeze. The main reason I don't think he's Breeze, other than the fact I think Unique is Breeze, is going back to Wiz saying that his mother never knows where his brother's going to be at. That's the opposite of Breeze, because in Power, Kanan told Tariq in regards to Breeze that they always knew where Breeze was going to be at. Not to mention, I find someone with no known ties to the drug game showing up out of the blue and becoming the boss of Southside Jamaica Queens to be a much bigger reach than Unique, who's already known as the King of the Southside, changing his nickname. And for those who say Unique wouldn't change his nickname, I know this is off topic, but I'm currently rewatching BMF getting ready for the new season. And in season 1, the character named Slick used to go by the nickname PM when he was in Lamont's crew, but told Lamont he had to reinvent himself. But Jukebox exposing some of Rock's secrets was teased going back to the interviews with the cast members prior to the start of the season. So I definitely think we'll see Jukebox feeling betrayed by Rock and exposing her secrets by the end of season 4. But another secret that Jukebox is keeping for Rock is that Rock got pregnant with Unique's child and decided not to keep the baby. This could definitely be something that Jukebox tells Unique, and that could even add fuel to his fire when it comes to his anger against Rock. Not to mention that Kanan doesn't know that Unique and Rock were hooking up, so Jukebox could tell this to Kanan also, because Rock didn't want anyone knowing about this and told Jukebox to take it to the grave. And another secret of Rock's that Jukebox knows is that Defcon isn't Kanan's real father, and that Kanan's real father is a cop, Detective Malcolm Howard. But I don't think Jukebox would expose this secret no matter how mad she got at Rock, because this would also expose Kanan at the same time. So there you have it, Jukebox could go running her mouth to Wiz's older brother and possibly get one of the Thomas siblings killed in the process. And that might be why Kanan said Jukebox was always running her mouth after he killed her. Leave your thoughts, theories, and predictions in the comments.